Okay, welcome to the next battle report from Ragnar. This is part of an escalation tourney I fought in. We had a league that went 2 months, and people at the top of the league got invited to the tourney. We ended up having a very poor turnout, but the games were very fun. It was a good game. So first one was against Warriors of Chaos, and I had lost to this guy a couple times during the escalation tourney, so I was very worried. He started out with, I didn't get setup pictures of his side. I'd forgotten to do that. So this is after his turn 1. He has on the left a unit of Knights of Nurgle. They have the banner that gives them Frenzy as well, and he has an Exalted Hero and his Chaos Sorcerer in there. The red unit is Knights of Khorne with a Lord on, I forget the name of the demonic mount. Fairly nasty though. And then to the right of that is another unit of Knights of Nurgle. In the foreground there is one of the 3 Marauder units. And the other 2 Marauder units were over here on this side. In his first turn he just pushed up. His spell didn't work until the 5th turn. It was the one that picks out a character anywhere that's visible and can do a wound to that character or model. Picture of the center. Okay, my line. In this case, you see that the knights are in pretty good focus, but my units in the back are not in focus. I'm still trying to figure out a way, to make this camera work better. But in any case, on my right or his far left, you have those skink skirmishers, and then you have the skinks with the Kroxiger. The first Stegadon, the unit of 17 Saurus with spear. A skink battle standard bearer is in there, and he has the banner that makes it causes stupidity in casters. And then the next Stegadon, these are both normal Stegadons. Then my Lord on the Carnosaur with the Blade of Realities. And then a unit of 12 Saurus Warriors with Spear. Behind the trees there is my Skink Priest and 2 separate Salamanders. They're deployed as separate units in this. They just happen to end up next to each other. And on the far right is the Pterodon unit. Now these tables are longer than 6 feet, so you'll usually see something set on one edge of the table to mark where the 6-foot border is. So turn 1, as I said, he pushed forward, and this is kind of where we were. So for my turn, having before dropped rocks to almost no effect on 1+ armor saves, I decided to try to annihilate that Warriors of Chaos unit, or the Marauder, the fast cav, and rocks killed 3 of them, and then arrows killed 1 more. This caused 2 panic tests. He lost 3 guys in the movement phase, and then 1 guy, which was 50%. In the shooting phase, and passed both tests. So too bad. I spit with the green lizard, landed right into that mess. The salamander spit's only strength 3, so I needed 5s to wound. I only got, I think, 1 or 2 wounds, and then he still had an armor save of 4+, even at the -3, and he saved him. So the blue salamander saw that and promptly ate his 3 skin candlers instead of spinning. I pushed the Saurus unit there forward just a little bit, and if you notice, the battle standard bearer ran over and joined this one for a short time. I was trying to get close enough to cause that stupidity test. On this side, I move out my the Skink and Kroxiger unit. They do 1 wound by throwing javelins, and the Skink skirmishers stand where they are and do 3 wounds, and once again he passes the panic test. So this is kind of how it looked at the end of the round. You can see the skulls mark the kills. Killed 8 of the 15 Marauders. So the fast cav units, all 3 still exist, but they're not nearly the size they were. So turn 2, he dances sideways with the Chaos, with both these Marauder units on this side, and throws javelins at the Skinks, who passed their panic test. And I stood back and shot with both Stegadons. They didn't move, so took shots at his corn unit. I don't want to face that general while he's frenzied and those guys. And he had a ward save against shooting, which saved him at one point. But he's realized that if we just sat there, I'm going to do all sorts of damage. So he pushed this unit forward. You can see it's awfully close. And then those two units are set up. It's pretty clear to me I might be able to reach, if my Lord charges alone, his Lord's unit. That looks scary. Charging into the big unit. A whole bunch of things could charge that forward unit, but then he would clearly just flee with them. They are not frenzied, they're Nurgle, so they're not immune to psychology. It's the only one of his knight units that can flee, and he would leave me out there for the other two units to pound on. The one Marauder on this side moves over on the hill and throws a javelin into the Salamander unit, but doesn't do anything. So on my turn, I charge this unit of Marauders. I expected that they would run. They did. I was just hoping they wouldn't rally and would go off the table. And I ended up shooting at the little unit of two Marauders, and I just killed. I killed both of them. That's the shooting was. This was during movement, so that's afterward. This is also during movement. So what I decide to do is I figure if I charge with just the far right Stegodon and pull the rest of my line back a little bit, I'll make him come forward to me. And to make sure of that, I'm doing two things. I figured if I just charge one Stegodon, he might believe that his knights could win and that he would not flee. And that's what happened. So he declares a hold. And then in my remaining move sections, I fly the three Pterodons over. Now these Pterodons are probably going to die. The idea here is if I manage to kill three of the knights, or if I break the knights, then they will flee and hit this Pterodon unit, which has unit strength 6 right now, and be automatically destroyed. If I kill at least 3 of them and they don't stand, when his Chaos Knights, when his Corn Knights, who are forced to charge from Frenzy, I can fly over this unit. I thought you could always fly over intervening units, but I'm told that when you're fleeing a charge, you flee along the ground. So if I don't break this knight unit and they have at least 3 knights left, I'll be destroyed when he charges me, but it will still bring him forward. So even that's worth 90 points of Pterodons. Everybody else backs up. I spit at him again, and again I don't really have much effect. I did move the battle standard back to the more protected, larger unit. I moved the priest into the smaller Saurus unit because he's got that lone Marauder running around out there, and I don't want to leave my priest on it by himself. So, end of turn 2. I'm sorry, that other picture was before shooting. I do actually kill, when I spit at the Knights of Nurgle with the Chaos Banner, I do actually kill 2 of them. The charge kills 2 of his Knights of Nurgle. He passes the test and doesn't break. He's swinging back trying for combat res and kills some skinks on top. He fairly quickly realizes that stubborn with rerolls means that even if he wipes out the crew, it's the beast that's more dangerous. And with strength 5 attacks, he's wounding on 5s, and I only have saves of 6s. So he ends up redirecting attacks at the beast here fairly quickly. So his turn, he does charge the Pterodons, who are destroyed because they flee right into it. He points out that he could have hit the Pterodons by going straight forward. He misinterpreted the way the flee things worked the last time we played, and I just didn't want to argue with him. So I don't actually think the knights should be there. I think they should be facing the back of his knights, the small unit of Knights of Nurgle. But in any case, the larger unit of Knights of Nurgle were just in range of this Saurus unit and charged them, and that could have caused a huge problem because I think he would have also hit the Lord, so I just fled, and that was a failed charge. So that worked out pretty much how I wanted it to. And over here, he rallied the Cav, and I forgot, as fast Cav, he of course immediately moved him over and was able to shoot on the turn he rallied, hit a few more skinks with javelins, and once again I make their panic test.